What's up guys, it's Ryan and you're watching Ryan Vision. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more. Today I wanted to give you an update on Project ZJ. Just some simple maintenance stuff that I've been doing. Some of it's for looks, some of it's for comfort, but if you guys have been following the video, you know the major turn off with this Jeep is the damaged rocker panels, and that happened on the Rubicon trip. I was a lot lower than I am now. I was on 3.5 inches with 35s and no rock sliders. My older brother and some of his buddies told me, man, you really need to get rock sliders before you go, but it was kind of a money issue and I was rushing and I did it. I just went and I bashed the hell out of them. This is the better of the two sides, but what I did was, this was white, and since it was bashed up, it was bashed bad enough that it actually chipped the paint to where the paint was flaking off to bare metal, and that of course was causing surface rust. So what I finally did was I just took a drill bit. I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's like this big rough, you know, buffing grinding wheel type deal, and basically I just took it down. First I took a chisel, and on all the paint that was just flaking off, I flaked it off with the chisel, and then I went over it with this drill bit and basically ground off all the surface rust and scuffed up the entire panel. Even the stuff that wasn't chipped off, just scuffed the paint up. And then I took my time and did a decent job masking before I hit it with Rust-Oleum semi-gloss black to keep the rust from coming back and just give it this nice black finish. Because you can see, like, from a distance, it really just kind of blends in with the undercarriage now. It doesn't stand out nearly as bad as it did when it was all beat up and rusty. Let me show you what I did as far as masking. Basically, I opened the door and I ran tape, just a straight line all the way across, and I only ran the tape, you know, up to here. Kind of came up like in this area here, taped all this off, this black plastic trim piece. And then up here you can see I got a little sloppy, it's just kind of faded here, but just got it the best I could. And then to protect the interior, I put a piece of cardboard up to block the seat, and then I also had a piece of cardboard in my hand so I could, you know, just hold and block things as I was spraying. And I just kind of sprayed down, that way I wasn't going toward the interior. I sprayed down, and then when I came in here I just tried to spray straight toward it. And also anywhere that this pinch seam was beat up really bad, I took a crescent wrench, snugged it up, a pretty big crescent wrench, snugged it up on that lip, and then I could bend it back and forth and get it as straight as I could. So this came out really nice. Let me see if this back door is unlocked, show you the masking I did back there. So same thing. Oh, and the previous owner had done this painting on the front and back fenders, but on the front fenders we actually used that painting as a guideline to trim the fender, so that came out really nice. But on the back you can't really trim it like that without doing a lot of other work. So what I did was, they had it stop, I think they had it stop like right in here, because there was a trim piece here, and that trim piece got ripped off on both sides on the Rubicon, so that was white underneath there. I painted that black just to kind of tie it in, because the white really stood out. And then masked all along here, and same thing, masked all this plastic trim off through the cardboard to protect the seats, and it came out pretty nice, I gotta say. I mean, I wasn't real worried about it. It's not a show car or anything, but it came out pretty decent, so I'm happy about that. The next thing I'm gonna do is paint this front fender right here, because I'm not putting this plastic trim back on, so I'm gonna just run some tape straight across here and paint that black, and that'll kind of, you know, complete the look. You can see that fender piece kind of stands out by itself with the nice dark gray plastic trim and the black rocker, and then that kind of stands out. So let me show you the other side too. This is the worst of the two sides. It got hit by some real big boulders, so you can see it's kind of pressed in under the passenger door. But again, if I get back here to where you can see the whole Jeep and look at it straight on, it really just looks nice. It all kind of just blends into the undercarriage and looks 10 times better than it did when it was white with flaking off paint and surface rust everywhere. So The plan is, right now I could, if I wanted, put the plastic trim piece back on to cover up the damage, but honestly I like how it looks like this with the black, so I'm just going to leave this until I finally cut off the damaged rocker panels and replace them with some real heavy duty steel rock sliders. So that'll be one of the next things on the to-do list. But this is just something you know, real quick to make the Jeep look a little better. Also on that note, you'll notice a decal here now that I didn't have before. It's the Rock Offroad decal. Awesome parts. I've got their steering kit, I've got their bar pin eliminators. I ordered my shocks through them, the Doetsch Tech Prerunner 8000s. I got the front long arms from them with the 3-piece subframe. I got the rear long arms from them with the subframe. I got all kinds of stuff from them. I got, the XJ U-joint axles with the Spicer 760X U-joints, and they're almost alloy kit welded in. My buddy Nathan came over and showed me how to do these, and we knocked it out pretty quick both sides, and these are awesome, way beefier than the CVs that I had. They do feel a little different when you do U-turns and stuff. I try not to go full lock. It feels a little weird, it's hard to explain, but these are beefy, and I definitely wanted to do this before we went back to the Rubicon Trail, excuse me, because the last Rubicon trip, I broke the passenger side front CV axle shaft and didn't have a spare. So now I'll have these. Hopefully they'll never break. They look really beefy, but if they do, now I have a full set of CVs for backups. So again, those are also from Iron Rock. And just a quick note, when you're doing the axle shafts, whether you're putting in some CV replacements or you're doing a U-joint swap, whatever you're up to, there is a axle nut that's 36 millimeters, and you know, if you're a mechanic, you have that. If you're like me, where you just work on stuff every once in a while and you got a decent set of tools, you might not have a 36 millimeter. So what I did was I went to Harbor Freight, and this I guess I should turn around here, this Pittsburgh, which, you know, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if it's the best stuff, you know, it's not Craftsman, but I gotta say I have a Pittsburgh jack and it's awesome. It's really beefy and it works good. But this was about $35, and basically it's an impact set, and let's see, you got 26 all the way up to 38. The only thing is it's 3/4 drive, and I only had, you know, like my breaker bar and my ratchet, the biggest one is a 1/2-inch drive. Well, for another couple bucks at Harbor Freight, they have this adapter kit that came with 3 different adapters, and I forget what all of them are. This one looks like it's going from a 1/2 to 3/8 probably, and then and see, I'm just storing them in here. They came in a separate kit, but I'm storing them in here together. And then this one is a 1/2 to 3/4. Got a train coming by. So that's the one I needed, was to go from a 1/2 on my ratchet or my breaker bar to the 3/4 to work with these. And then it came with one other. It looks like it's a 3/4 to 3/8 maybe, or maybe back to a 1/2. I'm not sure. But anyways, I just needed the one, and it worked out. So after tax and everything, I think this whole kit with the adapters was only like $44. And you know, this is something really good to have on the trail, because you need that 36 millimeter. I mean, it doesn't matter if you got spare axle shafts, they don't do you any good unless you have the 36 millimeter and some kind of torque to get them off, because the torque spec on the axle net was like 175 foot-pounds. So you need like a breaker bar or a real big ratchet or someone with some real big arms. So just want to drop a quick note on that. And this whole steering kit, the JKS Quicker Disconnects, all this stuff came from ironrockoffroad.com. And the reason I've got the sticker on there is they stepped up to the plate and supported the project. I contacted them, let them know what I'm doing on YouTube, and they've been really cool to work with. So also make sure you check out projectzj.com for all the videos related to this Jeep. And I'm flying another sticker for Iron Rock Offroad down here on the back bumper. Been really happy with all of their products, and I plan to get some more. I'm looking at their adjustable track bars and things like that. So the other thing that I did, and I already posted a video on how to do it, is this TJ fuel filler bezel mod. So check my other videos on a full install video how I did this. This came out really nice. I love it. Now I got the locking gas cap so the thieves can just sit here all day and spin this and never steal my gas. But it looks great, and that's kind of what inspired me to clean up the rocker panels. You know, I had a damaged fuel door here with some chipped paint that was starting to rust, and once I got that cleaned up, I said, you know, it's really time to just clean up the rocker panels too and get this thing looking nice, because it's really turning into a nice looking rig. This project's going great. I couldn't be happier right now. I also painted this black plastic trim just behind the window there. Basically, it looked like the previous owner, maybe they were white and he spray painted them black, but they were kind of fading off. And you can actually pop these things off real easily. You just open the hatch, and then there's 3 tabs. Like there's one like right here, and right here. So you just carefully pry it straight out till the tabs pop off, and then pull straight back, because it kind of goes under the window seal there, and these things will pop right off. So I just sanded those down and hit them with the same paint I used on the rocker panels, the Rust-Oleum semi-gloss black. They came out really nice. I think I put 2 or 3 coats on them. They're not perfect if you get up close, but you know, from a distance they look really nice. And again, it was just one of those things where you get this nice, you know, gas bezel on there, but then you got this trim piece a couple inches away that looks like complete crap. So went ahead, sanded those down and painted those. Real easy to do, and makes a huge difference. Another thing I did just for a comfort thing was recharge the AC. I've had this Jeep for right around 3 years now. Never used the AC because I didn't really buy it for that. I have a daily driver that has ice cold AC, but you know, it gets up over 100 degrees here in Northern California, and I decided, hey, the Jeep's got AC, let's see what it'd take to get it to blow cold. So popped the hood, got a couple cans of those I think it's the 134A recharger with like the stop leak and the oil and all that crap, and borrowed a gauge from my buddy, hooked it up, and it took 1 full can, and now it's blowing cold. The pressure reading was just below red, so I didn't want to overfill it. I did keep another can though, just so I can kind of see how quick this thing leaks. But so far it's been like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and it's still blowing cold even when it hit like 98 degrees. So I'm really happy about that. The compressor was short cycling when I first hooked up the can, but as soon as I opened the valve, it stopped short cycling and pulled the whole can in and started blowing cold air. So Project ZJ is coming along really well. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm about to do the long arms in the rear as soon as my buddy Nathan can come over and give me a hand. And then this thing will be on long arms, front and rear. And then the next thing we're going to do is Nathan's working on a metal bracket in the rear so that I can mount the Rock Offroad onboard air compressor basically on a little steel plate where the stock spare tire was mounted. So that'll be the next thing. The only parts that I have left that I haven't installed yet from Rock Offroad is the Solid Axle Industries differential cover for the front Dana 30. I'm going to put that on, and also the axle tube sleeves for the Dana 30. We didn't put those in when we did the axle shafts because you have to actually weld those in. So I'm going to save those for the axle shop when I get the 488 gears, you know, and hopefully I can get the 231 transfer case swap done by then, so I can get lockers front and rear, do the 488 gears, and get the sleeves put in all at once. So I'll keep you guys posted. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video. It helps out a lot. Make sure you subscribe for more. Check out projectzj.com, and for any parts needs for these awesome rigs, check out ironrockoffroad.com. Alright guys, have a good one. See ya.